Here's another video of mixed reactions from black women regarding Trump's election and Kamala Harris's defeat. Check this out.
5-day work week. You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation.
So I'm scrolling and I see a lot of black women making videos talking down to black men who voted for Trump. And I just have to say, if you voted for Trump and you're a black man, thank you. And I thank you because I know exactly why you voted for Trump. You voted for secure borders so that us women and children can be safe. You voted for a strong economy so that us women and children can be provided for. You voted for our children to not be indoctrinated in this failed public school system. You voted for my right to not have to use the bathroom with a biological man. You also voted for our children not to be drafted into another endless, senseless war that only benefits the military-industrial complex. And also, you voted for the protection of our freedom of speech. The same freedom of speech that these evil, nasty, disgusting women are using to wish death upon you. So as a black woman, I just want to say thank you for voting for Trump. I truly appreciate you, and I'm going to speak life into you. I pray that God continues to protect you and guide you. I pray that he gives you the success that you deserve. I pray that he gives you the strength to lead your family and your communities. And for anyone who wants to say in the comments that I'm a pick-me, baby, I'm already chosen. So what about you? It's Trump 2024. You already know. Thank you.
Yet it was the hip-hop and Hulk Hogan generation, the F Your Feelings latchkey kids who came up on Dynasty, Dallas, and The Apprentice, who were the lone age group that voted in a majority for Trump. A majority of Gen X voted to turn America into an autocracy and to condemn our kids and grandkids to a far-right Supreme Court, probably for the rest of their lives. And it was not just Gen X. Because while 91% of black women voted for Kamala Harris, 53% of white women overall voted for Trump, despite the open disrespect and demonization hurled by J.D. Vance and the Supreme Court stripping women's bodily autonomy, courtesy of Donald Trump, who closed his repulsive campaign by dropping the B word on Nancy Pelosi. The breakdown by education was stark. Harris won 57% of white women with college degrees and lost 63% of white women without them. It was also men. Trump won every age group of men, including 60% of Gen X men and 6 in 10 white men. Also Latino men, who despite the utter disrespect shown by Trump and his promise to deport some of your mixed status families, most of them voted in a 55% majority to make the deportations happen.
Trump ain't even in the White House yet. The stock market then shot up. Interest rates dropped. Hamas like, we trying to make peace in the Middle East. Putin and Zelensky like, what's up, Trump? We on board. We ready to end this. You know we linked up a couple months ago, but let's make it happen now. I mean, what more can you ask for? That's a leader. People respect him all around the world. You ain't got to like him, but you definitely should respect him. See, it's kind of like your mother. You know how y'all grew up? I don't like my mama telling me what to do, talking to me crazy. Okay, and that's because that person want the best for you and they want you to take shit seriously. A lot of y'all be want somebody to patronize you and treat you like a child. Y'all are grown. Grow up. This is a country and it needs to be ran by people that other people respect. These world leaders need somebody they can respect, not somebody that can bully them or somebody that's just going to let anything happen. We're going to have safer borders, a better economy. We don't have to worry about our daughters going in the bathroom with men. We don't have to worry about men competing in sports. He is trying to protect the integrity of this country. And if you think that all of the things that I just mentioned is okay, something is wrong with you. And you need to take that little Medicare, Medicaid, that free voucher you get, and go get your ass some help.
I woke up this morning and it was heavy on my heart that I owe my brothers an apology. The news made created story after story that essentially our brothers were deserting us and that they were turning towards Trump and going to vote for Trump in higher numbers than ever seen before, which was a lie. Trump pulled the same number of black men as he did his last election. I believed all the stories. I got wrapped up in the hype. And you know why that's so crazy? Because I, Randy B, am the one who was always talking about how the media tries to manipulate us, how the media always shows the negativity within the black community. And I'm the one who knows exactly how they manipulate us to create separation between us. But I fell for it. And I became upset. And I did my little think pieces. I think I was always respectful. I always try to be respectful. But I came for y'all. I was upset. I was hurt. Because, with my brothers, I take it personally. I take it personally. I got too much love there not to take it personally. And I was wrong. And I am sorry that I got wrapped up, that I trusted mainstream media, who has never, for the most part, reflected us in a good light or has ever done anything or written stories that unite us, for the most part. So I am sorry, and that's on me, and I will be more careful in the future. Black men, for the most part, stood by us. Are there the outliers? There's always going to be. But for the most part, brothers voted for us. And many are saying that they were voting in support of our reproductive rights, us as women, and they were voting for a black woman. May this election remind us of how united black people are. We may disagree all the time about things because we're family, and families do that. But when it's time to unite and come through, we come through. We showed up for each other. We are a team. I don't want us to focus so much on how we're not good or the dissension between the two of us, between black men and black women. I really would like for this to be a time of healing for all of us. Because if we don't have each other, we don't have nothing. If we didn't learn nothing about this election, we need to have learned that. And so thank you, black men, for standing by us. I'm sorry. And I hope that we continue to build upon this. We use this as a moment to get even stronger. My love to all of you out there. We need each other.
Woo! It's been a night. My anxiety was through the roof. First things first, congratulations, Agent Orange, and to your supporters. Congratulations, MAGA. Woo, woo, victory is yours. Victory today is yours. Amen. Okay. Second order of business for me. Life goes on. What I will do, and what I was telling you guys, when someone shows you who they are, you best believe them. Okay. So what I'm going to do, because I believe you, what I'm going to do is purge my followers and who I'm following. The overwhelmingly amount of European American women, men, Hispanics, and black people who voted for him, purge. I'm doing cleanup. There's no need for you to want to view my stuff. There's no need for you to want to follow me, baby. We are not the same. And I'm going to do you a favor so you don't have to see me. You don't want to see me, little old me. For the amount of European American percentage of voters who voted for Agent Orange. Oh, baby, you definitely told me who you were. And you were very performative. But that's your right. So I'm purging that. Second, or am I at third? I hope day one, everything Agent Orange said he was going to do, I hope he do it. I hope he ripped this bitch down to the studs. Okay? I hope he tear this bitch down to the studs. When he said mass deportation, ASAP. Bitch, I might even help him. Is there a hotline? I might even help him. Since 64% of Hispanics voted for him, is there a hotline? I would like to help. If he said he was taking countries off the map, bitch, do it. That wall, build it. Department of Education, get rid of it. Police immunity ASAP. Stop and frisk all the time. Bitch, do everything you said you was gonna do. I am with you. Tear this bitch down to the studs. Make America great again. Amen.
On CNN's Newsnight with Abby Phillip, CNN commentator Brian Seltzer made an interesting comment to GOP strategist Sir Michael Singleton. Take a look.
A lot of people look at how much money we've spent on this conflict, and they're asking themselves, my roads are crumbling, my schools suck, we just had major disasters across the country, FEMA doesn't have enough money allocated.
By the way, I don't live in that country.
For a lot of
I don't
people.
live in that country, by the way. America's not that horrible.
Brian, if you get out of New York and talk to regular
I don't
people.
live in New York. I live in a normal city, in a normal town.
With all
My roads are not. I love New York, but my roads are not crumbling. My schools don't suck. I just get tired of the anti-America
Maybe you're
rhetoric.
fortunate enough to put your kids in darn good schools, but there are a lot. No, let me finish
public
here.
schools
There
in
are
a
a lot
normal
of people
town.
in this country
I just think all
who
the
aren't wealthy,
anti-America
who
stuff
don't
is
live
so
in great cities,
tiring.
who do have to send their kids to terrible schools. That is a fact because of their zip codes.
True,
and to
the
sit here
Obama
arrogantly
years
and say,
true,
well,
the
my
Trump
kids
years
go to
true, the
great
Biden
schools.
years.
I live in a great neighborhood. That's your experience.
The
not
roads
the
are
experience of
crumbling.
most people in this country.
As we move forward towards this election and the next, the Democratic Party must take a look in the mirror. The party is becoming whiter, more college educated, and more elite. And this interaction between a white liberal and a black conservative encapsulates the challenges that the Democratic Party will have with the African American community moving forward. I'm from Cleveland, and I love my city. Cleveland is a majority black city, and it is one of the poorest big cities in America. So our challenges are extreme and deep. We have roads where we have to dodge potholes, and we have a school system that is desperately in need of funding. Now, we currently have a system that has two major political parties. You have Shermichael on CNN representing the GOP, and he is there pushing back on Brian, who is the liberal. And here's the thing. I served in the Ohio legislature. I was a member of the Ohio Senate. I and my caucus fought time and time again for more money for funding for roads and more money for our schools by way of example. Now, when I served in the legislature, as it is right now in this moment in the great state of Ohio, it is dominated by members of the GOP. So I'm sure that you can guess that fighting for that funding, be it funding for roads or be it funding for our schools, it was never an easy task. It was always a fight. Now, remember, I said the legislature was and continues to be dominated by the GOP in the great state of Ohio and many other states across this country. That is the reality. So where does that leave black folks in the long run? You have the GOP who refuse to spend or invest any money in our communities. And when they do, it's a knockdown, drag out fight, if they ever do. And on the other side, you have Democrats who center the needs of affluent folks and deny that there are any needs or challenges in our communities. That spells trouble. And that trouble hurts the very people who are the loyalist base of the Democratic Party. So when I say Democrats look in the mirror, that's exactly what I mean. Look in the mirror and analyze what you see and make the change. To quote the great Michael Jackson, we got to make the change.
I might get some violations and I may offend some people with what I'm going to say, and I don't give a fuck. To all you Latinos that voted for Trump, I hope he mass deports you and your entire family. Whether you were here legally or not, you gotta go. I hope he does that. To you black men who your fragile ego couldn't take a black woman in office, so you either voted for Trump or you didn't vote at all, the police will now have carte blanche to murder you right where the fuck you stand. And when they do that, there's not going to be no GoFundMes. Don't ask your family to ask us for shit. Just die. They can't afford to bury you. Dig a hole in their backyard. It is what the fuck it is. But don't expect sympathy. Don't expect protest in the streets. We're not doing that. Black women, we're done. We're done. We did our due diligence for this century and the next. We've done enough. We're not doing anymore. To you white women that once again voted against your fucking interests, when your husbands start knocking you into the middle of fucking next week and you can't do anything about it because no fault divorce is in play, I want you to take those black eyes and those busted lips as a personal thank you from Donald J. Trump each and every time you get fucking hit. Take it. Don't look for nobody else. Don't ask for fucking help. Take your beatings. For all of y'all that voted for Trump, I hope you get exactly what you voted for. Because the only thing he did was make America great for the people that it was great for from the fucking beginning, white men. That's what he did. He couldn't run the risk of whiteness no longer being the default, not being allowed to fail up. So when you're bleeding out somewhere and there's a medical emergency and you can't get no fucking help, women who voted for him, don't take it. You just gotta die. If you got kids, they're just gonna be motherless. It is what the fuck it is. You didn't give a fuck, so we don't give a fuck. That's how it is. This isn't America anymore. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's not gonna be America. And if you think that Trump is gonna be in that office for 4 years, you're fucking insane. Because we about to be in a real live action episode of fucking Scandal. Because your next president is not Donald Trump, it's J.D. Vance. Because trust and believe, within a year, you're not going to see Trump anymore. He's either going to be, and they're going to say it's illness or he died in his sleep, it's natural causes because he's fucking old enough. Or they just going to let him spaz out and do the 25th. And that's when we really going to be in the Handmaid's Tale. So I really hope all of you who voted for him, you get exactly what the fuck you deserve.
I remember 2016. I remember inauguration 2017. I remember that the last time we found ourselves facing this set of dynamics, we sparked a resistance. It was a decision that was grounded in not knowing what was to come. We just knew what we'd been told, and we saw what we could see, and we pushed back. We railed against, and as more and more evidence piled up, we organized and we persisted. And in so many ways, it worked. In fact, for a brief moment, we united against racism and sexism, homophobia and ableism, and those who would do any of us ill. We came together. And then it started to fall apart again, or so it seems. Because November 5th happened, and they're back. And they've written Project 2025, and they've used invective and insult and promises to tell us what they will do. And now we know what to expect. Unlike 2016, we know what could happen because we have a Supreme Court that said we're going to not hold them accountable, because we have a U.S. Senate that has suborned and supported and refused accountability, because we have a president-elect who has told us what he intends to do. And now we know that while millions agree with the harm that he has promised, we also have to remember that millions did not agree, and they spoke up. But I want to focus on the 60 million that didn't believe their views mattered enough to show up at the polls. We need to be curious about why they didn't come. We need to be worried about what worries them. We need to lean in this moment and think about the 60 million, not the 71, but the 60. Because unlike 2016, we cannot think that it is enough to just resist. that it's sufficient to persist. Detente, just accepting what we have, isn't enough. And so this time, we must insist. We must insist on a government and leaders that respect us and our needs. And that doesn't just mean president and our federal government. I'm talking about the zoning committees that are forcing higher rents because they refuse to adjust, and the school board where your children or your neighbor's kids are being denied books and the truth. I'm talking about insisting on speaking up when we see wrong or when we need more. No more polite acceptance or making excuses for prejudice. We have to demand better of ourselves and of our leaders. We must insist on fighting for our rights, even if we think we're going to lose, because the record will show that we tried, that we filed lawsuits and lodged complaints and put TikToks out there if we still have TikTok, that we had social media solutions that we shared, and we made history report on our efforts. We must insist. We must insist on being more important than anyone's wallet or their wishful thinking that it's not that bad. Because those who would sanction bigotry to justify profit or their own comfort should be held accountable, and we must insist. We must insist on holding power, even if it makes us uncomfortable and even if they tell us it is not ours to hold. We must insist on believing in our own power and the good change that we have accomplished and the change that will continue to manifest, because we exist between elections. We exist between these moments. We exist between the harms, and we are responsible for making the good and making change. We must insist.